Hello and welcome to Lifetime Uncorked, the podcast where we discuss your favorite made-for-TV movies. Whether you love to hate watch or hate yourself for loving them, pour up a glass of your favorite cocktail and join us. I am your host, Patrick Serrano, and my guests today are...
I am Drew Current.
I am Chris Cady.
And I'm Johnnalee Kutzke.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Chris and Johnnalee up in the house.
There we go.
Jaylee's been on the podcast before.
Hey, guys.
Wait, you have?
She has.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chris.
Oh, I thought this
didn't
was your
tell you.
first time.
No.
Well,
No,
Chris,
lied.
it was a train wreck of a appearance. Not that you were a train wreck, but I'm just saying, like, we watched the movie like so drunk
That you didn't remember?
barely
we
remembered.
barely remembered, and we were like, oh wow.
It was a hard time describing to me what the movie was.
Yeah,
Okay.
Drew's like, this doesn't sound like a
I'm
film.
like, I'm going to put a cork.
Right?
I think I corked it.
You did. I think we all
oh,
did.
is that a
Only-
thing?
Yeah.
What is that? Wait, I want to know.
Yeah,
You'll see,
describe
you'll
the
see.
options.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just wait till the end, Chris.
Okay.
You'll get your. We're like, bringing Chris into the fold now, so he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see.
Okay.
You'll see.
I'm
It'll be a
excited.
surprise.
Okay.
Yes. So I asked you guys on the podcast because you are true crime aficionados.
Well, specifically, we are the Jinx aficionados, which is a docuseries dealing with the case of Robert Durst.
Right.
Very
And
famous.
Very famous. I know nothing about Robert Durst. I'm only approaching this through the
wow.
Lifetime filter.
Yeah.
So I
Great.
had to call in the experts because
Yep.
from the movie, spoiler alert, Drew,
Yeah.
I still don't really know what happened.
Yeah, about Durst. About Robert
Lifetime
Durst.
likes to do the true crime, like based on a
Reimagining.
true story.
They like to do a reimagining of it, I feel, because there's some stuff they definitely... I mean, there's always a fictionalization, but for this... I think almost everything was based off, like, they're imagining based off the facts, because it's
They
all
just-
about intimacy between
They just
Kathy
heard
and Robert.
about it.
Yes.
I mean,
It was like,
Yeah,
they're
it's a
like, we
second
heard
hand.
about this, and we're going to make a movie out of it.
Correct. If Lifetime were to have an art house wing, this would be in the art house film
Oh,
of
okay.
Lifetime.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
they have an Emmy Award winner directing. Yves, again with the Yves, Drew, a Yves person, not the same
It's
person.
not the same guy?
I think it's
That-
just Eves.
Yves, I don't know.
Like Yves Saint Laurent.
Samonu,
Who
Simone.
You can't talk to me like that.
That's the-
Some on you.
That's the director, okay?
Some on you. Some on me.
Also, we have an Emmy-nominated script writer, Bettina Gielos.
Jamama.
So, anyway, what I'm saying is the people involved in this film, the director and writer, are both Emmy winners or nominees.
Oh, okay.
So in the film industry, they are a big deal.
Okay.
Okay? So Lifetime spent a pretty penny. They did not spend a pretty penny on the cast.
What about
however.
Katharine McPhee? She's famous.
Well,
As a singer, right?
right, exactly.
American Idol.
Yeah.
So we have starring Katharine McPhee from American Idol. She was the runner-up. Drew, you
Okay.
might know her from Smash. I don't think that's your jams, but
It is not.
it's like a Broadway show. She
Oh,
was like
no, I
a
don't
singer,
know.
whatever.
No, it's a TV show
know
about
that.
She's also in
Broadway.
House Bunny. Have you ever seen House Bunny? My favorite movie.
House Bunny.
starring Anna
Anna
Faris.
Faris.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
Let's watch it together.
Is that the sorority
yes,
one?
I have it on
I might have
DVD.
seen that. I might have
It's
seen
good.
that.
And playing Robert Durst is Daniel Giles.
I don't know him.
What?
I don't know him.
No.
He's married
That
to...
is a bad casting.
Do you know this really?
You know
Yeah.
him?
He's married to Rachel Lee Cook.
Really?
Shut the
Yes.
front
and
door.
when I read that, I was just very shocked, I guess is the word.
Yes.
Chris, you did your
There's-
research. I'm impressed.
I did. I
There's
researched a lot.
no... He doesn't...
He has no
Robert
credits.
Durst,
Oh, he
the
is-
actual man is
Oh.
He's a little squirrely
Yes.
piece of shit.
So Drew,
Yes, all
you know
correct.
about Robert Durst.
Yes,
then. Okay,
yes, I do.
so I am literally the only person at the table, me and the podcast listeners, who probably don't know who Robert Durst is because we just watch Lifetime and drink wine, and it's
And
no big
that's
deal.
it. And that's it.
So
I have a fun fact about Robert Durst. The only time I've ever done any sort of stand-up set was at PH during rehearsal. They made us do like a 1 minute, minute and a half stand-up set.
Yeah.
And I wrote mine about me having a crush on Robert Durst and imagining the date that we would have together. It went pretty well, I feel like,
Well,
except
you
for I
know,
dropped a lot of F-bombs.
I was gonna say,
Whatever.
now we don't even have to imagine because this Lifetime movie actually gave
Actually
us
just, like, gave us
flirting
that.
Robert Durst.
The stand-up set would have to change.
Yes, that's true.
You'd be
Okay.
like, what'd you get? You got
I
that
don't
from-
believe I've said
you
the
stole that
title
from-
of the movie. Today we are covering The Lost Wife of Robert Durst.
The Lost Wife of Robert Durst.
Bum,
Durst,
bum,
Durst.
bum.
Okay, so we know that. Now we're going to jump into the plot.
Yep.
My notes are very confused because
Yeah.
I don't know anything. So
Yeah.
at the very top of the movie, we get Lifetime Pictures Presents, which is, Chris, you might not know,
I don't.
unusual. Usually it's another production company producing the film and they sell it to
Okay.
Lifetime. For a Lifetime movie to produce, are you okay? Are you choking?
Yeah, I tried to turn my head so as not to call attention.
It's fine.
to
It will pick it up. It'll pick it up. Drink some wine. You're fine. So Lifetime Movie presents. We know it's pretty serious because Lifetime Movie does not present things. The Lost Wife of Robert Durst. So we have Robert Durst, okay? And he's coming to report his wife. And she is missing. He tells the police and they're like, oh, this guy's the Robert Durst. He is a very rich man and owns half of Manhattan, air quotes.
Yeah.
He's very wealthy. So, well, I don't know if it's true.
That is, his
It's-
family does.
yeah,
Yes,
it's
it's
very
true.
true.
Seymour Durst.
Seymour Durst is his dad. Doug Durst
Before,
is his
so I
brother.
want before we go into it,
Yes.
I want you to see what Robert Durst looks like
In
actually.
real life?
Yeah.
Patrick, do you really not know?
Oh, you don't know.
You guys, I don't know.
Oh,
Well,
this
no,
is a
and,
shock.
and that's okay. And that's
I
okay.
thought this guy was
It-
handsome.
We're
No.
you're gonna explain to me the Lifetime movie.
Mm-hmm.
I know what
The true
happened.
movie. Yeah.
in
Yes.
This is Robert Durst.
Oh.
Of course.
Why is he in a neck brace?
He's definitely older.
Did he get
knows?
hurt?
Oh no, it was he was thinking his
Oh, it's
Bobby Durst.
It's a fake
Bobby
neck brace.
Durst.
but these are yeah, no, he's garbage.
Oh.
But yeah, that is him. He's an old squirrely little fucking piece of shit.
I see. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
And then let's look at who
Are you-
let's look at who played him.
Oh, that dude was
Okay.
fine. Dude, wait, hold
And
up.
then that's-
Ryan
that's-
Gosling
that-
played him in another movie. I'm not joking.
There's
All good
no
things.
way.
All good things. Ryan Gosling played him.
that's the guy.
And Kirsten Dunst played Kathy in All Good Things.
So
Not joking.
Daniel
I-
Giles does not look like Robert Durst.
Nor does Ryan
No.
Gosling,
No.
I have to say.
Yes.
Daniel Giles was very. I mean, he had the 70s glasses and long hair.
Drew, can I request that you pull up a young Robert Durst?
Yeah, I mean he doesn't.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. You're
The hair
showing
is the
current
same.
day.
You're right. And I
True.
should show young.
While you're looking up young
Durst.
Robert Durst, I'll continue with my synopsis. So
Yes.
we flash to 1971. We have Katharine McPhee, who will be referred to as Katharine McPhee because she's playing someone named Kathy. Mm-hmm.
Kathleen, though.
Oh, Kathleen.
But fine.
But fine. But yes, so Catherine, whatever, Katharine McPhee. She's in a like very cool velvety skirt, very 70s, very styled, very well. Good job, costume designer.
Mm-hmm.
Probably an Emmy nominee.
I made
winner.
one of my notes says that the costumer was on point for this movie. The costumes are excellent.
It was like This Is Us, but a Robert Durst movie of This Is Us. So
Top budget
So
costumes.
this is him like younger.
That's
still
with
not
Susan
the
Berman.
same.
Nope, not even fucking close.
Wow.
Not even fucking
Okay.
close at all.
Well, Lifetime likes to recast things, so I'm
Bobby
interested in it.
Durst.
So they cast a hot man to be the bad guy.
Yeah,
Because
great
if,
jawline.
If he wasn't hot, then I wouldn't want to watch the movie.
Right. Yeah. No, who would?
So Katharine McPhee just moves to New York, okay? And she's going to be a dental assistant. That's like what she's there for. And she's like in her apartment and she runs into Robert Durst. Like literally like runs in and cute meet the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Like a romantic comedy.
Sure.
And I'm like, I'm here for this.
I got it.
I love this.
I'm on it.
I love it. And he's cute.
He
but
nags her from the beginning. Like
It's very
even when he
ominous
runs
flirting.
into her in the hall, he is a negging flirter, meaning like
What does
low
that
key,
mean? Yeah.
So it's like low key negative comments to where it's like not necessary. It's not quite a diss, but like she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you," and he's like, "Oh, obviously." And my friend who watched the movie with me, she made a lot of comments on their relationship throughout, obviously.
Sure, yes.
The first thing she said, early on was that he was negging Kathy to make her want to prove herself. So that's something that, Chris and I have talked about before, that women can find attractive, is that negging quality, because then you want to... you want to
Be
prove
better
yourself.
for-
You want to, oh, but wait, he'll see I'm better than that,
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole nagging thing.
Negging's a thing,
That's
right,
how
Drew?
That's how
not
that
a
works.
thing.
That's totally a thing.
In
Yeah.
gay. In
I saw
gay,
you
that's
hating
not a
on
thing.
Amy
In gay
cutting
world,
her celery.
In gay world, not a thing.
If you neck me,
Fuck you, dude.
no.
I
Goodbye.
think that's not a thing for
'cause you
males.
can't-
Like, it
'cause
doesn't
you-
go well for males.
Yeah, because
Right.
you're like, go fuck yourself, motherfucker.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
women,
That
they
is correct.
feel
That
like
is
more.
correct.
I want to prove myself. I want to prove to you that I'm worthy. That I like you.
Interesting.
It's a
Is
thing.
Kathy as attractive as Katharine McPhee? Because Katharine McPhee is a very attractive woman.
No, I will say, and Kathy,
I'll tell you-
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Here's another little. This
Kathy
is them
Durst.
Oh, she looks
Kathy
like a
was attractive.
They're very 70s.
You're gonna have
They're
to
super
post these
70s.
pictures to accompany it.
I will
feel like.
post these pictures during the week leading up to the podcast so we can actually see them. And I'll hashtag Robert Durst, so then all the Robert Durst people come and
I'll
find me.
Get that all.
We
get
love
that-
Durst. We
get
would have found that
Durst.
hashtag.
Get that Durst,
Get
BDE.
that Durst audience.
That's Bob Durst energy. ladies
Bob
and
Durst
gentlemen.
energy, which probably is not a good thing. Okay, so they're
Really
flirting.
bad.
No,
they're
it's a very bad
flirting.
thing.
They're flirting in the movie. We're back to the movie, and he has the actor playing Robert Durst has a very twitchy face, which I was like, oh, he's not to be trusted with his twitchy face.
That's Bob Durst. Robert Durst really does do that.
Oh, really?
My friend and I invented a drinking game, meaning I did and forced her to participate.
Sure.
Where every time, he says Bobby or Kathy, we drink. Every time he did twitchy face, he drinks, which in real life, Bob Durst does that constantly.
Like this was all on the documentary.
In the doc, yeah. If you watch the
didn't
doc,
watch
you
it.
see a lot of I think
yeah,
they
he-
based
he-
a lot of it on that.
He does.
I don't have
He has
time
a
to watch
twitch.
documentaries. I'm watching Lifetime and Hallmark. Okay,
You watch them for your
and then when
show.
I'm not watching Lifetime and Hallmark, I'm watching the darkest dramas I can find.
Yeah.
Love
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh,
Sure,
yeah.
sure. Of
Okay,
course.
so Katharine McPhee's painting her apartment yellow,
Bright yellow. The brightest yellow I've ever
70s
seen.
yellow, 70s yellow, and Robert Durst is like, "Hey, let's go to a fancy dinner because you deserve it, and whatever." So they go to a they go to a fancy dinner, yes, and he isn't dressed appropriately for the dinner, and Katharine McPhee's like, I'm painting my house, I'm in overalls and my hair's in a messy ponytail, and I don't really think I should go to this fancy place, and they won't admit them. They're like, don't come in.
He tries to give him a jacket to wear, and Durst refuses.
Yeah.
'Cause some places, especially back in the day, had dress codes. You had to have
Sure.
a jacket or a
Sure,
tie.
sure.
And he gets angry.
Psycho angry, and she's like, baby, let's go. Baby, let's go. Let's go.
Baby, let's get
Baby,
out of
let's
here.
just get out of here.
You getting crazy.
Yes, and
You
they
getting crazy.
they go to have a picnic in the park, and they're talking about how great New York is.
They drink coffee in the blue New York cups.
Yes. Oh,
I'm obsessed with those.
Yep. I don't know what the brand is, but it's not Starbucks.
It says thank you for pleasure to serve you, or thank you. For
Yeah, who cares
serving
about
you.
the cups?
I love the goddamn cups, Drew.
True. Johnnalee loves the cups.
Okay, fine.
And
I want to
she-
know what happens.
Shout out to the props person of the cups. Okay.
Authentic.
Apparently, New York isn't that great because Robert Durst convinces Katharine McPhee to move to Vermont to open a health store.
Yes, it's called All Good Things.
Which was also the name of the movie starring Ryan Gosling and
Oh,
Kirsten Dunst.
I thought-
Kirsten
Durst.
Kirsten
Kirsten
Durst.
Durst.
Dunst.
Yeah.
Help me.
Kirsten Dunst, Lifetime All-Star, 15 and pregnant.
Oh, and and she was in that movie with Ryan Gosling called All Good Things about Robert Durst.
So All
we're
Good Things
we're cross promoting.
is also a Weepy song, if you guys know the Weepies. So I thought that's what it was about.
I've never heard music before.
I'm just bringing it back to my listeners who don't know Robert Durst, and I'm going to just bring it in with a
Just
Weepy
bring it
song.
in.
I think that's
Of
smart.
course.
Yeah.
So they go hiking a lot, and there's they make love by the fireplace.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that happens
Oh,
in
yeah.
that Barbra Streisand movie, The Way We Were.
Sure. And it happens in
Robert
this
Redford.
movie. And this is basically where the Hallmark movie ends, right, Drew? Because it's in a Hallmark movie, the woman would be like going to do a thing. She's like, I'm going to be a dental hygienist and whatever. And then she meets a man. She falls in love. They get a cabin in Vermont. And they stay there happily ever after. We're done.
Bam,
We're
done.
done.
And done. Happily ever after.
But since this is a Lifetime
You
movie.
also so not only does he ask her to move in with him on the second date,
Yes.
he also, as my friend put it, blitzes her with personal secrets, which I found out is an emotionally abusive, manipulative strategy to like get someone to really like you. Because if you he tells her when they're having their blue cup picnic,
Yes.
that his mom died in this tragic accident, and like just throws all these crazy like, oh, I'm tragic hero kind of messed up, and my mom, he doesn't say that she committed suicide, but he kind of implies that, and he gives her all this information, which makes her feel really close to him. And I did not know, as my friend Bay told me, that that's like an emotionally abusive, manipulative strategy to get someone to like really be
that's
you.
what I do.
You
Right.
reveal a lot early
Yeah,
on.
I just
know.
reveal every single
Drew,
thing about me.
you eat SpaghettiOs out of a can, and
Yeah.
I know your secret.
Yeah. And I'm actually, when I told you that, I'm manipulating you.
I felt so empowered knowing that you eat SpaghettiOs
so
out
you'll
of a can.
continue to host a podcast with me.
Yes.
You could tie. I'm making you do this podcast.
It's
by
all coming out.
gaslighting you.
Wow, it's all coming out.
Okay, but guys,
Yeah.
since this is a Lifetime movie, since this is a Lifetime movie, my diction, I need to work on that. The cute dogs
Big diction energy.
I love your diction.
The cute dogs go missing. So we know we're out of Hallmark land and dogs are missing.
They mentioned that six or more different dogs have disappeared on that Durst has owned. And they are all named, anyone?
Igor.
They're all
Really?
named Igor. They
Like
name
the-
them Igor
Wait,
every
what?
time. Yes.
Why?
Igor 1 through 6. Or
At
whatever.
least 6, but it's 6 to 8, basically, they specify
I don't
that
know
it's 6
that.
to 8.
So, Drew,
Yeah.
the movie now is jumping through different timelines. I've called
Way too much.
one timeline is the yellow timeline, which is where Katharine McPhee exists
is
in the
my
70s,
favorite.
okay?
Okay.
So that's the yellow timeline. The blue timeline is where Robert Durst reports the wife missing. Okay,
Why is it blue?
because
that's so accurate.
The tones of the film have
Oh,
blue.
okay. So
the
it's- yeah.
tones in the 70s have yellow. There is another timeline, which we'll call the green timeline, but it doesn't really have a green. It's more modern than that. That will come later.
Okay.
So I'm going to start jumping through timelines now. So we're back into the blue timeline. Wait. Yes.
When he reports her missing.
And Robert Durst. Robert Durst has all these dogs missing, and his wife's missing, and they're like, something's wrong with Robert Durst. Like, he's probably like responsible for this and whatever.
Yeah.
And the police are like, we're gonna question him, and then Durst lawyers up.
I'm
in
going
that
to
timeline.
interject again about the blue timeline. It's
Okay.
also kind of appropriately named because this has a lot to do with like the police activity at the time. And
I
like
thought
this
you were gonna
boys in
say
blue.
like Van Gogh shit and start like
No.
talking about the blue period or
No.
whatever the fuck.
Hard no on that. But I will say, so he goes to the police office like multiple times. There are shooting scenes in the police office.
Uh-huh.
And in one of the scenes, they, in the background, like called it was like a radio dispatcher, and they said like, 311, and my friend Bay, again, who was watching this with me and provided some notes.
Where
for
is
me.
she? Where the fuck is she?
Is that her name?
Her name's Caitlin, but all my friends know her as. I always call her Bay, so it's
I
just
thought-
a nickname.
I thought that was my name.
Well,
No, just kidding.
you could get there one day.
Continue.
Anyway, Bay looked up. She noticed that they, in the background, like this was not part of the plot or anything to do with Durst. They were talking about like I don't know if it's like code 311 or just like, oh, we have a 311 at this address, the radio dispatcher. So Bay decides to Google it and finds out that this is child pornography. 311 is the police code for child pornography. And
Really?
randomly in this movie, they're like, we have a code for 311. And she's like, yep, they had at 72 Maple Street, they had a child pornography
God.
instance.
Oh my
and
God.
I just thought that was such a fun fact and how fun of her to research it. But what on earth?
Look, Lifetime doesn't have time to look up codes.
So they just put in child
they don't
That
give a
pornography.
shit.
Emmy
First thing.
nominated, the Emmy nominated screenwriter Bettina Gios does not have time to look up facts.
No.
What about Yves Samoyen?
Yes. So now we flash to the yellow timeline again, the 70s, Drew.
Yeah.
And Robert Durst and Katharine McPhee are moving back to New York Did I jump? No.
No. That sounds
they're
right.
moving back to New York. They're married. They have more dogs. You know,
There's a lot of like just showing them and dogs and life together and
I was texting someone at this time, so I lost interest in what was happening, so it doesn't matter. So then we're back to the blue period, and Robert Durst is throwing around that he's like, people at his work are like, oh, you're like under questioning for something, and he's like, oh, I have a really big wrench and I'm going to hit you in the head with this wrench.
That's
if you
his
talk shit
brother.
about me.
That's his
Oh,
brother
okay.
Doug that comes.
Yeah.
And he does threaten Doug physically with a wrench.
And
After
he barks
prank
at
calling him approximately, who knows, 800 times that day.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
He prank calls him from another office.
Wait,
The
was
office
this in
next
the,
door.
hold on. Is this in the movie? though?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
The movie, Drew,
Like, no, I mean, I know the stuff about
We'll
him,
specify
but
if
this
it's
is
true
what I
crime facts.
really want. I don't.
Yes.
I know the fucking true crime shit.
This is a
I
movie
want
fact.
what they have in
He
the
holds
movie.
a big wrench and
A
looks
really big
threateningly
wrench.
at Doug.
And
The-
it's sharpened,
with a sharp
right?
end, yeah. It
the
has a
biggest wrench
sharp
I've
end.
ever seen in my life.
Like it's a
It's
I mean,
it's like a
well, you've
baseball
never,
bat.
A big
biggest
old
wrench you've
monkey
ever
wrench?
seen in your life, but you never dated Chris. So I mean,
Oh, I got that Bobby Durst energy.
BDE.
Okay, Chris.
that big old.
Prove
what?
it. Prove it.
Oh Lord!
All right.
Bob Durst energy.
Oh God, Chris whipped out his dick right now.
Oh my God! Oh, I'm looking at his dick.
I mean, I've seen it before.
It's
pretty
as
good.
big as the wrench.
Wow! Look at that! Look at that dick.
And as sharp.
Ow!
And it's real sharp at the end. It's weird.
Okay.
It's a weird dick.
Pointy
So
dick.
Robert Durst
PDS,
then
pointy dick
meets
syndrome.
his publicist, and she drinks.
Susan Berman. So Susan Berman is actually in real life and also this movie.
Yes.
His college friend who is involved in like publication and also a mob boss's daughter. So she's really good at like covering up crimes.
I
and
get
stuff.
that
Fun
by
fact.
her very black wig with bangs.
And accent also.
And very New York accent.
Long Island. They give her the Long Island accent.
But she's drinking martinis, Drew. So I was like, this woman is me.
I love her.
I identify with her. She's me. Okay.
I love her. She is my friend already.
Moving back to the yellow period, Katharine McPhee tells Robert Durst that she is pregnant, and he tells her to get an abortion.
Smush-mortion.
And how could she get pregnant? That is so rude. You know?
He freaks out. And she says, you'll learn to love it, please. And he's just like, no, take care of it. Get the hell out.
Yeah, he's like, get rid of it.
Yes.
He's like, basically, it's you keep the baby or you keep me. But if you keep the baby, we're divorced.
She's at the
Okay.
abortion place with her sister.
Smush-mortion.
And she is like, the sister's like, you know, just have the baby. You have a baby. Just get rid of Robert Durst. He's bad. And Katharine McPhee's like, no, like I'm justifying his. I told him I wouldn't get pregnant, and I did, and I'm a dumb whore for that. I'm really sorry.
Oopsies. Yeah.
Big oopsies.
Oops-a-daisy.
Yeah, and then they like move to a summer camp like place, a cabin. She gets the abortion and moves to like a
In New
summer
York.
camp.
Mhm.
That's what I was
Yes.
calling it, a summer camp.
No, they have 8 different homes
I think
in
it's
this movie.
Salem,
Okay.
New York is this home, the final home.
At this point in the movie, Drew, this is what I write. Am I the lost wife of Robert Durst? What is happening in this movie?
They do jump between blue and yellow.
Because
a
I'm
lot.
lost
I'm lost.
as fuck.
I
of
don't
what's
understand
happening.
what's happening.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Chris. Were you lost at all? Because I agree that they were jumping a lot, but I'm wondering if like they're expecting the audience to have the context that Chris
Yeah,
and I
that's
had.
that's what I think. Is like, are they? There's too much. It's like pretense, right? Like, so
Exactly.
it's going pretense
Exactly.
on.
It's
what,
expecting you to know the
be
basic
like,
story.
anyway, you know this place.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Like O.J. Simpson. Like if someone
Yeah.
watched an O.J. movie, they'd be like, "All right, we know
But even
O.J.
the
Nicole,
O.J.
Marsha."
The OJ American Horror Story or whatever
was
the fuck
great.
Yeah.
it
Loved
was.
it.
That's
Oh
what
my
it was.
God. Oh, the
OJ
people
American
versus-
Horror Story.
The
Yeah,
People
that's right.
versus O.J. Simpson with
No, it was-
Sarah Paulson.
It was
my-
OJ.
American Horror Story.
Horror
OJ.
Story, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I love that when
Sarah Paulson.
what's his name?
Orenthal.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba Gooding Jr. played OJ, and
Sometimes
he
we
was
use
like
actor
Michael
names.
Myers, and it was so amazing. But no, so back to this movie. Katharine McPhee goes to nursing school and meets some friends. Okay, she has friends.
A friend.
Her best friend's named Gilberta, and I looked up Gilberta because I was like, "Is
She's
that
real.
a name?" I didn't look up Gilberta the person. I looked up Gilberta the name.
Gilberta?
But Gilberta's a real person. They called her Birdie.
I want to have a daughter and name her
Great.
Gilberta because I don't believe that's a name.
Because that's from a fantasy series book. That's from a fantasy book.
Right?
It's
That's
a real.
like-
I'm pretty sure it's a real.
Yeah,
name
but
also.
like
I'm pretty sure it's from Lord of the Rings.
The
Alberta.
Gilberta, I will say the Gilberta Kathy relationship is what I was really there for. I sensed sparks. And,
Me too.
Right?
Lesbianic.
I missed this. I
Oh,
completely like.
I wanted them to take a real left turn out of like history and just pursue this.
If
Chris, I'm
Katharine
impressed.
McPhee and
Thank you.
what is her name?
Gilberta.
Gilberta hooked up in this movie. Pour it up for that.
Pour it up.
That is
Yeah.
not what happened.
no.
No.
So they like
Cork.
make friends, and Robert Durst is like taking out classifieds and cheating on his wife, and Katharine McPhee is like getting super sassy about it, and she's like, "Why are you cheating on me?" And he's like straight up rude to her and calls her an alcoholic, and he's like, "Shut up, alcoholic," which I thought was really rude.
We don't like people calling other people alcoholics around here.
No, you.
I'll put a cork in
you
that.
You call yourself an alcoholic.
As a hilarious joke that everyone loves. Yes, Drew, I agree.
you
If
call yourself that.
if you set limits on what you're drinking, you're an alcoholic. Okay. I don't have any limits. I do what I want.
I
And
do what
drink
I
what
want.
I want.
I do what I
Amen.
want too, and I'm not.
And I'm not an alcoholic.
Amen.
I
And
agree
if
with
you are like, I don't drink on Mondays, you're an alcoholic.
you're an alcoholic.
Amen.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I mean, if you say like,
If you have to put a limit on it for your own drinking, that's bad.
then you're an alcoholic. But if you just go like, I just want some alcohol
Yeah, I'm
right
just
now.
drinking right now.
No,
I'm just drinking, recording
No
a podcast.
worries. No worries anytime.
So now we get to the green period, another timeline. There's an investigator looking into a cold case. He doesn't have computers or cell phones, so I don't really know exactly when it is. But
They tell you.
I think it's
Oh,
early.
they
What
do?
is it?
I think they tell you 99.
I was gonna say early. I was gonna say early 2000s. So I think because he kills Susan Berman,
had to do it old
mob
school.
mob girl that you mentioned. He kills Susan Berman in real life in 2000, December 2000, I think, maybe
Yes,
2001.
but
no, 2000. And so 99 would have been when they started looking into the case again, late
Yes.
90s. That sounds right. In real life, this is based on real life, not the Lifetime movie. Sorry,
yes.
Drew.
No.
just let's stick to the Lifetime movie.
I'm so sorry.
because I know all this shit, and people
Oh,
who do
really?
know
Okay.
do know this shit.
And I don't.
I wanna see
And I
what-
do not. But, okay, so Drew, in that timeline, they're like pretty sure Katharine McPhee is dead. And the parents are like, we don't really want to open the case. Like, we just want to let her be dead.
We just
But the policeman in
make
this
sure.
one is like, oh no, I'm investigating. I only have like 4 paragraphs left. I'm so almost done with this movie.
I'm just wondering when all the abuse comes in.
Oh, we'll get there. So now we're in yellow timeline. Yellow timeline, Robert Durst gets passed up for a promotion with his brother, okay? So the brother
Doug Durst.
the brother gets the company and Robert Durst does not get the company.
Yet Robert Durst is the oldest. That's important to mention. So it would normally go to him. Like,
That's like me. If my dad died, I would get the business.
would get the company.
not Joe.
Not Joe. Sorry, Joe.
Sorry, Joe.
You don't get the company.
But who would piss into a trash bucket?
Exactly. So this dude pisses in
The dude Robert Durst.
he's like, oh, really? You're going to give it to my brother? And he's just like talking. And then he just I'm pee shy. So this is like very impressive. Like
Big Durst energy.
He's in a trash can in the office and puts it on the
Oh,
table. And he's like, here's my piss. I'm out.
His brother. It's like
Yeah. And the brother.
pisses in it and sits the trash can on the table and he's just like, fuck off.
What
Helen.
don't you understand, Drew?
Oh no, I understand 100%. But
It's
This-
crazy.
but this was in the movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
we get a Christmas party. And I was like, is this a Hallmark movie? What's happening? Christmas? I love it. I love it.
Ching, ching,
No.
Not
ching,
the
ching,
type of
ching,
Christmas
ding.
party I want because Robert Durst puts his cigarette out in pastries, which is very rude. And then he's like, Katharine McPhee, let's go. And she's like, I'm having a great time. I love Christmas. I'm Katharine McPhee. I have a Christmas album. It's called Katharine McPhee Loves Christmas. And you should buy it on iTunes. iTunes doesn't exist. It's on Spotify now.
Cross promote.
Cross promote. But he grabs Katharine McPhee by the hair and literally like drags her out of the place. And everyone in the party is like, that's rude.
No, exactly. Everyone in the party is like, that's rude. I was like, my family would have been following him out there with a fire poker and being
Don't
like, get
let
her
her
in the
go.
house. And they're
Yeah,
like,
sure.
yeah, that
But-
was kind of odd.
So like they're
Underreaction.
going as being like, oh, well,
No.
that's how the rich. That's how.
They're
You're
not rich.
right.
This is Kathy's family. So it's just like an average American,
It was
like
weird.
upstate New York
It was
family.
very
They
weird.
do like stand up. So they're
and they're like, oh.
Wait
They're-
a minute.
yeah, they're shocked enough to be like, wait a second, and then they do nothing.
So Katharine McPhee gets dragged out of a Christmas party by her hair. No big deal.
Expert Durst fact, this did happen. This was cited in the documentaries. Continue.
Katharine McPhee is having an affair with her medical student friend.
Not Gilbertha, sadly.
Not Gilbertha, another person. And she finds out that Robert Durst stopped paying her tuition. So she's like, hey, Bob.
Bobby.
Bobby,
can you
Bobby.
pay like my tuition? Like what's going on? I'm very dressed very nicely and whatever. And he just punches her in the face.
And that's real, Drew.
Do you-
Like that
do you-
happened in the movie.
I know.
Movie.
In the movie that happened.
Yes,
That happened.
in the movie.
He
I
just
mean, they cut
punches her.
away.
Do you cover the marital rape scene? Because
No, because
the marital rape scene was very upsetting for me. Because
movie?
There's a marital rape scene and he rapes her, but they're married, and marital rape was completely legal until the 90s. So that
Okay.
I'm not
I
trying to be
didn't
like
know
that. For me is really upsetting. I'm not married. Who cares? Rape is rape. But it's weird to
Right.
think about that. Like that he was totally within his rights as a husband to rape his wife up until the 1990s. And
well,
that's crazy.
legally, but morally, like Robert Durst, get it together. Get it together. Don't rape people.
Don't rape
Okay.
people. Don't rape anyone.
100%.
That I'm
And-
behind that.
Rape
And
equals
now-
bad. I'm gonna throw
No,
that
you
out
can't.
there.
Yeah, I mean that's it's like saying
Don't
war
do
is
that.
bad.
Hey,
Death
Water
is bad.
is wet.
all I'm saying is give peace a chance.
That's what I exactly.
Consent.
Patrick. Peace.
Right. So Katharine McPhee lawyers up, okay? She's trying to get help for herself. The lawyer, like, victim blames, of course, because it's the 70s.
High key.
And he's like, you shouldn't really file for divorce because you're not going to get any money. And, like, she's like, I really want a divorce. And the lawyer's like, all right, well, document everything that happens to you. And fine. So she, like, is looking through papers and finds some skeletons in his closet about his finances or something. I don't know. I do not know. It was not clear in the movie what happened. But Robert Durst finds out and he strangles her. And she goes to her mom's house for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good call. Good
Then
call,
Robert
girl.
Durst apologizes and he's like, hey, let's go back to the summer camp house, wherever that is. I don't know what it is.
Salem, New York.
And he's like, let's go be alone together. So Robert Durst goes out and Katharine McPhee's at home alone. Calls up her lesbian friend,
Gilberta.
And she's like, hey, girl, you having a party? I'm going to come over.
And Gilberta was having a small family party in real life. True.
This was
that
like
she
a
would not normally have been invited to.
swanky party. Gilberta had all. Ellen DeGeneres was there.
As a child in the 70s?
Everybody was there. Rosie O'Donnell was
Rosie
there.
O'Donnell.
Ellen
The 70s.
DeGeneres.
Jack Black.
Jack
he was
Black.
there
No,
probably.
Patrick's naming lesbian icons.
Yeah.
You need to stop.
Jack Black is a lesbian.
Lady from Glee. What's the lady from Glee?
Jane Lynch.
Jane
Jack
Lynch was
Black.
there.
Chicago shout out.
Jack Black was
Jack
there.
Black was
Sarah Paulson, Holland Taylor.
And she's
Melissa
like,
Etheridge.
she's like, Katharine McPhee, you need to break this off with Robert Durst. He's bad. He's a bad guy. And Katharine McPhee's like, yes, he is. You're right. I'm getting my liquid courage. I'm drinking wine, which I was like, yes. Which, by the way, I'm going to fill up my wine glass. While I'm saying this. And she goes to confront her husband, okay?
Yeah.
And
I'm filling it for Patrick.
No, actually, Patrick's peeing right now. So just
in a
give-
trash can.
So just
Is it
give-
going to pick that up, really?
It
Oh
will.
yeah, just for 1 second, just let
So-
him pee.
Then
I've done it so many times.
Then the movie goes into slow motion, and we get this is really annoying, Drew, because I know nothing about what's happening, okay? But the
Yeah.
movie goes into slow motion. We hear a heartbeat sound effect. Boom, 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 boom. And then it's like Katharine McPhee like walking up to the house to like confront Robert Durst, and we fade to black, and we get a shot of the summer, like drone shot of like the summer camp house, and Robert Durst is crying, and then we go back to the timeline, and
Which color?
this is the green timeline.
Okay, 90s.
And Susan Berman, the martini drinking publicist, is dead. Robert Durst is the number one suspect. Final shot of the movie is Robert Durst standing on a dock with an umbrella, wearing all black in the rain. Title cards come after this. And I didn't write them down because I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
I want to add in one thing that you forgot to mention, and I was waiting till the end.
Okay.
There was a quote I think it was during the Blue period when they were going over this case and everything. And the quote, and I had the subtitles on because it was, we have a lot of fans in my house. So I am certain, and we wrote this down. The quote is, in the police station, they say, "We've been humping this case for over a month." And I'm just wondering, what is humping a case? Like, what is just, you're working on it, you're humping it.
You're just like, you just got to.
Is that euphemism common?
No, you just got to grind.
It's a military euphemism.
Is it, Chris? Yeah. Please weigh in on this.
In Vietnam, they when they were going through the jungle, they were like humping through the jungle. So it's just sort of working. Like it's like you're trudging through it.
It's like hump day.
But when you're actually humping someone,
that's exactly right.
It's like
Patrick.
It's
like
Patrick. On Wednesdays. So it was
Wednesdays suck.
Mondays.
On Wednesdays we wear pink.
To get to make your point is in Vietnam it was on Wednesdays. It was hump day.
That
is when
that
they would
part
go
is a lie.
They would only do it on Wednesdays.
Yes, you've retained everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
Chris is telling the truth.
Perfect. Okay,
Drew's
so
lying.
you guys.
But
Chris-
sure, but he's
Chris
like,
understands.
we've been humping this case for over a month, and I'm like, but is humping like bad? Like, is it hard work? I feel like you're humping and you're like enjoying it.
Jaylee,
typically.
are you a top?
I don't.
I,
Yeah, like what do you,
Yeah, can we just?
Solid
I'm sorry.
question.
Are you a cop?
Humping is hard
top,
work.
T.O.P.
Humping is hard
humping
work.
is hard work.
Sorry, Chris.
Just
Humping's
saying.
hard work.
Is it? No, I was. You know what? I'm actually no. I've pitched and caught, so
Okay.
I don't want to hear it.
Fine. Just saying.
It takes energy.
I'm not
It just
saying-
takes a lot of energy to hump, and that's the whole point.
Right. So,
Thank you.
on the podcast,
Clarified.
we either pour it up or put a cork in it. Johnnalee, what are you going to do with this movie? We'll get to your Robert Durst facts after, but I want to keep this flow.
Cork. Put a cork in that shit. It was terrible. Very difficult to watch.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Chris?
I need the rules explained to me. This is like you give a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Pour it up is like, yes, would recommend to a friend. Put a cork in it, it's like, no thanks, I'm going to pass.
Oh,
There's no in between.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
there's no like
Half pour.
sip.
No.
That was literally what I was going to ask.
Yeah, no sips, no
Okay.
sippies.
Then I guess overall I would say put a cork in it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Drew Bear?
I'm gonna pour it up.
What?
I'm pouring it
That's
up.
interesting.
Based solely on our description, because Chris, I don't know if you
I'm
picked up on
pour-
this, but
Shh,
Drew does
I
not
am
watch the
pouring.
movies.
I am pouring it up.
Drew, see,
I
Chris
didn't
didn't know
watch
you
this.
don't watch the
No,
movies.
I'm blind. No, I know. That's the whole.
You're blind
Chris
pouring.
didn't know that.
I blind poured up.
Your chair is coming
Because?
off my hand.
Because I think they nailed it. They got it. They got it.
Yeah.
And I don't just for Patrick, what you explained to me.
Yes.
I think they nailed it. I do think they would probably be better to explain more things as if you don't know what the jam is.
Yes.
But like, people gotta know about this motherfucker. He is a garbage person.
He is a
and
bad
everything-
baddie.
and everything should be. Everyone should know that.
Right.
And I think they really.
So putting it
got
out
it.
there. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to put a cork in it because I didn't
Yeah.
understand it. However,
Yes.
I do think that Robert Durst might be a bad person. It's not confirmed. I didn't see him kill a dog.
He is.
Well,
Okay, he
The
had
dogs could
6 to 7 dogs, 6 to
The
8 dogs named Igor.
could have ran away,
Young man.
They could have.
and Katharine McPhee could have left the party earlier.
V fine.
And maybe she should have gotten an abortion.
So do you-
like
Smush more.
Patrick, can I explain to you now?
Yes.
You explained the movie to me.
I did.
Can
I
I
did.
explain to you now how all this shit is going on?
Only if Chris and I can correct you as you go.
No. I do
Sounds
not.
fair.
Correct me.
Okay, yes, I want to be educated on Robert Durst because as I watched this movie, he didn't seem that bad. I've seen worse villains.
Well,
Marital rape?
I've seen worse villains in a Lifetime movie.
Marital rape.
There's a lot worse villains and where they just
Marital
kill
rape,
anyone ever.
wife murder,
I'm sorry.
dog murder,
With that jawline,
mafia boss daughter
with
murder.
that jawline,
Yeah, but with that jawline though, look,
kill
here's the
all the
thing.
dogs. I don't care.
The guy's a murderer, and he has been
Yes.
like, spoiler alert, he killed all the things and that you
I think he only got convicted for gun charges though, Drew. I don't think he got convicted for murder.
no after the
Like legally,
Let's
no
be
he
sure.
literally look,
Continue.
I don't want okay
Continue, Drew.
I don't want to fucking ruin anyone's jam if they want to see the Jinx. I don't want to ruin that.
Oh,
So
it's
turn
been
this
out-
off
Spoiler.
if you want to see the Jinx.
So stop
So
listening to
spoiler?
this.
And
This
also,
is-
it's been out since 2015. Get a life.
but I haven't seen it. I don't know.
Oh,
So-
Patrick.
So the Jinx, if you don't want to know the ending, turn
Is-
this off. Watch it. It's amazing.
Can I just ask one question about the Jinx in general?
Yeah.
Like, is it like a mystery? Like, we don't know that he killed her? Because it seemed
so
pretty
through
obvious.
Through it, you actually. So it's weird. There's a lot of
It's
like,
not just about Kathy.
yeah, and it's not. It's just. It's a lot about this dude and like
Mm-hmm.
what and how and where. Like it's a very good documentary.
Is it
because
the
there's
money?
going like I don't know.
Is it the money? Like, he had so much money that he just is a sociopath
No.
and doesn't have any, like, remorse?
Okay, I'm gonna try to give it to you in like 5 points as far as the Jinx.
Okay.
'Cause it starts out and they're talking about the murder of some dude who got dismembered in Galveston, Texas, and that's crazy.
And he
then you
did that?
find out, and then you find out, but supposedly by a mute woman, and then you find out that
Like, fucking...
just you wait.
Oh.
Then you find out, oh well, actually the mute woman was
There's a
Robert
lot.
Durst, and he totally
there's a lot
reveals
more.
himself.
He was a mute woman?
He was a mute woman,
Like Sally
and,
Hawkins?
and he was also suspected in killing his wife. And then he also kills his friend to keep her from talking about killing his wife. And they were coming after him,
It digs
and
in.
My
money
brain.
on money on
Yeah.
money on money. And he has the best wife ever, Debbie.
It digs in so
Deborah.
hard.
Deborah.
It
So,
digs in so
I
hard.
should watch The Jinx, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's very
Ooh,
very good.
Okay.
But it
But
starts out
there's
not
the-
just about Kathy.
How many episodes?
8? I think it's 8.
Johnnalee, would you watch this with me with the
8 or
box
9.
of Black Box?
Tonight, tonight, any day.
Okay.
I was
All
watching
right.
it earlier.
Well,
Continue, Drew.
just so you know, like
I don't care
the-
about being spoiled.
the very last thing. So the documentarians, actually, they had audio recording.
They had
everywhere.
he was mic'd.
Yeah, he was mic'd.
He had his mic on still.
So he had his
Oh,
mic on,
I heard about that part
and at
of
the
it.
very end of this,
Chris and I watched this as it came out.
at the very end of
Mind
this,
blowing.
Yes.
yeah. So did I.
At the very
But,
end
like,
of it, yes.
But I'm just saying, the very end of it is him talking to himself, straight up like, and I know you wouldn't probably understand this, Patrick, but like Gollum from
I
Lord
love
of the Rings.
that guy. He's the computer guy, and he's a little
Smeagol.
man.
Yeah.
And he makes a
Yes.
thing.
So you know how he talks to himself?
Yes.
He's like Smeagol good, Smeagol
Yeah.
bad.
He's like, Gollum, Smeagol, right?
Yes, yeah.
He
That was my nickname on my swim
Really
team.
good comparison.
he talks to himself like that.
No.
Literally, look, when he's in the bathroom, he's like, what do I do? I don't know. And he's
I'm
like,
burping.
and he's like,
Kill them all, of
"Kill 'em
course.
all, of course.
Does he
Like,
have
Kathy.
He fucking goes back and forth.
my face
and
is
he-
shocked?
and he-
My face is shocked. What?
It goes insane. That's the end of the
No.
fucking thing.
That's it.
When I watched this, I was screaming. I
I
could not
couldn't
believe
handle it.
But-
Like I was like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Shut the fuck up.
So
it's wild.
It's so good.
And actually, you know what I was when I was really thinking? I
Yes.
was like, these documentarians are the luckiest motherfuckers
Yes, they
alive.
absolutely are. They
Because you know what?
absolutely
He like contact them and was like, I
Yes.
want you guys to interview me and tell
After
my
the movie.
side after all good things.
Yep.
And these dudes, as you said, Drew, hit the freaking jackpot.
They were like,
We cracked this
this
case
is
wide
the
open.
end of it.
So my question would
The
be
perfect ending.
about all this. Like, this movie came out in 2017. Did the Jinx come out in 2018? Like, what the fuck?
No,
No.
it's 15, I think.
Yeah,
Chris
2000 it was
and
2015 or
I,
something?
early on in our friendship, sorry, Drew, to interrupt, but this is kind of a personal thing because we also became friends
Go for it, go
during
for
this
it.
time. And Chris was like, why don't you come to my house and we'll watch this documentary that my brother told me is good. And we watched the first episode of The Jinx and we were mind blown. And then we both kept watching it, which I don't usually really watch shows. And it was just...
I mean, it's the best.
many
It's like
feelings.
it's one of the best true crime
Absolutely.
like documentaries ever made.
My question is, why didn't it translate to a Lifetime movie? Like, was this too art
Well,
house or
the-
like what happened?
The documentary isn't primarily just about Kathy. There's so much more. Drew.
Would the Jinx not fit into a movie format an hour and a half?
I know it wouldn't.
What a movie that would be.
Well,
even
the
with
only
an
way
Emmy writer?
you would have to make the timelines and all that kind of
There's
shit
so
because
many
there's
murders.
so much shit in it.
The timelines were so confusing.
Yeah.
If they didn't have the colors, I wouldn't have
And
known.
they're just focusing on Kathy. Think about the fact that his friend that you mentioned with the black bangs, he kills her execution style.
He did?
It's a whole thing. This is the real life fact.
My
that didn't
theory
even come to
with-
fruition in the movie.
My theory with that it was a Lifetime movie,
Right.
So they wanted to get this crazy story together,
Yes.
but they got it together way like before this documentary came out.
So the script is written, they shot it,
Or they-
and then it came out. Right.
Right? Like, or they just like their thing was that they're just like, oh, this is perfect for Lifetime. Just make it up. I don't care.
That sounds right.
You know, you have the director being like, I don't
Catherine McPhee's like
fucking
book. She's
make
like,
it the
I
thing
gotta
that
do
they're
other things. Yeah.
yeah.
But
Okay.
this is why I want to cork the movie, because this is like honestly one of the least interesting aspects of the entire Durst mythology is the whole Kathy thing.
case, absolutely.
It's
I agree.
really not even. It does
I
not even
agree.
touch him pretending to be a mute woman and beheading a man.
Yeah.
Right. So R.I.P. Kathy.
He-
but
it's
fun
Patrick,
facts.
right?
Crazy.
My face is like,
Patrick's
what?
eyes are just lit.
No, Chris is right. The Kathy thing, typical wife disappearance, and R.I.P. Kathy, love you, girl. But yes, pretending to be a mute woman, dismembering and beheading a man, and the head to this day has never been found. Execution style
Where's
murder
the head?
of his friend Susan Berman.
Where's the head?
Murder
Where's
of
the
multiple
head?
dogs. There's so many things going on with Robert Durst.
OMG.
Lot of
Kathy
shit.
dying, like
Lot of
R.I.P. I love you, girl. Yours is the saddest too. So sad, but
So-
definitely not the most interesting. 100%.
I'm wearing a shirt that says "fuck Robert Durst."
Me
and
too.
I didn't understand why I was wearing the shirt because he seemed like fine in the movie.
Yeah.
but
Marital rape, Patrick. Marital rape.
Yeah, but he's really the actor who played him was very attractive.
even
Good
and
job,
I'm not,
line.
and I'm not
mean-
even gay.
Oh
and
my
I
God,
and I
marital
want to
rape.
be
I'm
him.
I'm done.
Johnnalee, I understand marital rape.
Yeah, we get
but,
it. But he didn't.
But like,
That
okay,
actor didn't do that.
I didn't really.
This doesn't say fuck the actor who played Robert Durst. It says fuck Durst.
I don't know. Robert Durst did not come across that bad in the movie.
No,
Oh,
that's
can we
no.
mention-
If you're telling me no, hold on. In the movie,
In the movie, I did not
didn't-
think he was.
and that's actually that's fucked up. I'm gonna change mine. Put a cork in it.
Yeah, Drew.
I'm putting it.
Thank you.
I'm serious. I mean, like he did fucked
gonna-
up shit. You're right. Marital rape,
He
killing dogs.
beat her.
But
killed dogs, marital rape. I don't. What
but,
are you
I mean,
not
like,
understanding?
What like the worst thing he did was put out a cigarette in a pastry.
No, the worst thing he did was marital rape. I'm just going to keep
how
coming
dare
back to
he.
that as a woman, that marital rape is really bothering
You're
me.
right, and that's why I have women on the podcast to check me all the time
Yeah.
because that didn't even make my.
It was
notes.
bad. It was really bad and disturbing and kind of upsetting, guys.
It didn't.
The cigarette and a pastry
It
over
didn't.
marital rape. I don't know.
I was like, why are you putting a cigarette in a pastry?
Right, I'm offended by
Ladies
that.
and gentlemen, they show the marital rape scene and it actually is really disturbing, and the domestic abuse scenes they're hard to watch, and this is a thing that happens and is very real. So it's kind of
Again, I was texting and like doing other things while I was watching this movie and drinking wine.
Understandable.
So
That's
I was ready for a Lifetime romp, and this was not that.
no.
This
not
took a
that
lot of my
100%.
energy, and it gets like one star. from
Another
me.
interesting fact is that he got caught because he shoplifted a sandwich despite the fact that he had like $500 in his pocket and like $37,000 in his car.
Dummy,
in cash,
dummy.
And shoplifted a sandwich from a convenience store in
he's just a piece
Philadelphia.
of shit.
But you know what?
I mean, he's just a
that sounds
Yeah.
like karma.
Bob
That
Durst
sounds
energy.
like karma coming to get you.
Well, Winona Ryder shoplifted, and she has like
It's the thrill, you know.
yeah.
You
You
know,
guys ever
for the
shoplifted?
thrill.
Wait, you guys never shoplifted?
I stole a toothbrush from Walmart once. I'll
Another
admit.
I
time.
absolutely have.
Another time.
All
I
right.
have a lot of stories.
That wraps up our conversation about
Yes.
the lost wife of Robert Durst.
Is there a CCB segment in this
No,
episode?
no, not for
Oh,
this one.
Okay.
That's Hallmark only. And
Oh, okay.
trust me, I have many more coming in season 3. Season 3 is coming. I did
Guys, CCB that I mentioned is
Candace
Patrick's
Cameron-Bure.
Candace Cameron-Bure
So
segment.
the deal with coming up. Just speaking of this, because in a previous episode I said that we were done recording, and we're not. Surprise! I needed to record more episodes, so I asked my friends to record some, and those Hallmark season 3 are coming. Lifetime Christmas, all that's coming. CCB will be a staple of that. But before we get to that, we have to wrap up season 2.
Yeah. Wrap it up.
So we're wrapping it up. Johnnalee, where can we find you on social media? Do you have anything to plug?
You can absolutely find me. So I don't know if Patrick mentions this in the blurb, but I am a student at Loyola University, but I'm also very funny and great. My Twitter is @Johnnalee, and if you really want to add me on Instagram, you can add me at my username that Patrick here came up with,
I did.
which is Jaylee, JLEE.Bailey, BAELEE, because
Amazing.
I am his bae and I'm Jaylee Bailey.
You're my Bailey.
Yeah.
Chris, where can we find you, or do you have anything to plug? You don't have to plug your social media if you don't want to.
Tell them about dad lies.
Oh, no, I'm all over the regular social media stuff. But honestly, I think my LinkedIn is probably the funniest thing these days.
Cool.
And so just find me
No.
on LinkedIn.
He has a Twitter called @DadLies. Also find that.
I think it's at 420 divorce now.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah.
420 divorce. Okay.
Nice.
Thank you.
I actually love that.
I like
Drew,
that.
where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Drew Butt with Pants on Instagram. Anything
But with
else?
one T.
Yeah, just one T.
Not Drew
butt like a
butt.
butt.
Drew Butt with Pants. It's like instead of
Drew's butt.
it's me, but with pants instead
Yes.
of not pants.
Thank you all for being here for this very special episode. This was a lot of stuff to get through, and
Yeah.
we did a really good job because I'm totally ignorant and I didn't know anything.
Of course, of course.
And-
of course, Patrick. And
But
the burping, the
yes,
burping.
you guys educated me so much on Robert Durst and why I should hate him.
Bobby Robert Durst.
Yes, fuck that guy. Fuck
Nice
Robert
job.
Durst.
My dad is
Seymour, Doug's a pussy.
Yes, you can follow me at Patrick Miguel or the podcast at Lifetime in Court. Don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. 5 stars, emojis, please. And also check out our website, lifetimeincourt.com. You can contact us at Lifetime in Court. I forgot my email. Podcast at Lifetime in Court. And we have a phone number, but it doesn't matter. I'll push that at Hallmark season where you can call in. But I don't fucking care. Call me or not. Whatever.
No marital rape.
Don't marital rape.
Don't marital rape.
And you know what? That's illegal now, so don't do it.
Thank you, 1990s.
Yeah, thank you, 1990s. And sorry, 1970s. What a terrible time to be alive.
What a
The
terrible
yellow
time.
period.
The yellow period. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.